Hello everybody, this is Chris Fate with Cheat the Game coming back at you. Today we're going to be taking a look at making your own flags. And I know I've talked about this before, about what flags are, but I just want to reiterate basically what a flag function actually does. And you remember in the past videos, and I was talking about flags and how flags are set. Well, flags actually control the flow of a game. And I gave examples in the past, and I'll give an example now. Like, let's say you have this quest or this particular game, and the king says that you got to go retrieve 3 medallions, and before he'll let you into his treasure vault. And then you go on different quests, and each quest is different to retrieve that medallion. And that treasure vault's not going to unlock until you bring him back all 3 of them. Doesn't matter which order you bring those medallions in. But you go on the different quest and you come back and bring him 1. He'll say, well, you still need to bring me 2 more before I can let you into my treasure vault. Well, you finally get all 3 and you hand him that 3rd one, and he'll say something like, oh, you're the greatest warrior ever. I will grant you access to my treasure vault, and the door unlocks. Well, that's what flags do. Flags are set to control the flow of a game, the control of those functions of what's going on in the game. Okay? And basically, that script saying that you're the greatest, even the script itself saying that you're the greatest warrior ever, will not even trigger until a flag is set. Now, a flag is also known as a switch. It's a Boolean value, which means yes, no, true, false, off and on. However you want to look at it. All are correct. Okay? And I look at it like an off and on light switch. And I believe in Ruby, if I'm not mistaken, when I do the RPG Maker stuff, they call them switches, but they're flags, what they really are. Flag switches, same thing. And basically, when the criteria is met to whatever it is that you're doing, it's programmed in, a flag is set and turned on. And there's a function looking at that flag, seeing if it's a particular value. It's either 0 or 1, or it could be actually any number. This particular value means off, this particular value means on, but for the sake of argument, we're just going to use 0 and 1 right now. And we'll say, well, if it's 0, that means it's turned off. Do not unlock the door. The door stays locked. He brings in that 3rd medallion, and somewhere in that script, it says, okay, the 3rd medallion has been delivered. Now jump to this location and turn the flag on. And now whatever's monitoring that flag is looking at it and saying, okay, the flag is now on. Unlock the door. Trigger the script, unlock the door. Well, that's what flags do. And a lot of times, I've taught in the past of how we can go manipulate those flags, how we can find and try to manipulate those flags where we ain't got to find all 3 of those medallions. We can just go on in the treasure vault and get the great sword that gives 1-hit kills or whatever. But be that as it may, I'm going to teach you now. What we're going to do is how to create our own flags. And it can be used for a variety of purposes, but for the sake of this tutorial, in the past also, and I'm going to pop those vids up here, Cheat Engine Step Number 9 Explained. If you're not up to speed, this is a more advanced lesson into the intermediate range. So if you do not know how to find infinite health, then you're probably going to be lost right off the bat, because I'm kind of starting midway after the health script has already been wrote. I'm not going to go through the entire process of finding health, writing a script for it, and then go into this. We're going to assume that you know how to write a health script, how to separate your enemies from yourself, how to write the health script, and how to give yourself 1-hit kills to kill the enemy with 1 hit. And what we're going to do, in the past we wrote a 1-hit kill script, and the only way to really activate it is you had to turn the whole script on. If you turned it off, you would not only would you lose the 1-hit kill, but you would lose your infinite health. But today we're going to write a flag in those scripts to learn how we can always have infinite health, but yet we can turn 1-hit kills on and off manually. Where if we turn it on, if we set it to a 1, the flag, it will have 1-hit kills. If we set that flag to a 0, he'll just take away enemies' health like normal, but yet throughout the entire process we still have infinite health, even though it's within the same script. So I hope I hadn't lost you there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use an older game, BioShock, one of my favorite series, And I just want to take something easy, straightforward, and we're just kind of build into more advanced scripting in later vids. But I kind of want to get our feet wet with this one right here, and then we can build on from there later. Okay, so stick around. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for holding. I got Bioshock up, and I brought up Cheat Engine. Now, I've already got a whole mess of codes for these already, just a whole string of them. But I went ahead and cleared the list out except for a couple, just our health and infinite magic. Let me go ahead and get on in the game. Sometimes when I switch over to the Cheat Engine and I want to do some talking, the game will kind of stutter in the background and it gets really annoying. So let me go ahead and get over to the game, and I'm just going to go ahead to the pause menu. Let me get rid of this mess. Okay, so what we're talking about today, and like I said, we are starting right when the health script is already wrote. Okay, so if you are unfamiliar with how a health script is wrote, I teach it over and over again. You can find just buku's tutorials on my channel, also Sneaky Mofo's channel as well. I'll pop a couple of them up here. Like I said, I'll pop Cheat Engine tutorial step number 9 explains that. Just goes over the very core basics of writing a health script and how to separate your enemies. And I'll also pop up God mode for any game and one-hit kills for any game. And if you watch those two, you'll be caught up to where we are right now. Probably a little bit ahead because I haven't even wrote the one-hit kill script aspect of it yet, and we're about to do that right now. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and take a look at the script, and just so I can tell you what's going on with it. All right, here we go. Let me change that right there. I only need 100 places. We don't need 1,000. So right now, all I got, and I want to change this label here, this code label. I'm going to change that to enemies so everybody knows what we're doing, because we're going to be adding on to that in just a second. Let me backtrace that a little bit. I have a little problem with my mouse. I need to get me a new one. Let me try that again. Enemies normal. There we go. And we got to change it everywhere. And it's just a name. That's all it really is. It's just a name of the location that you named that particular spot, just so the computer knows, or what we know, what that function is doing. Or you can just keep it coded. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to name it enemies normal. And there is a method to my madness. Just stick with me. But for right now, we have my guy, my hero, as well as the enemies going through the exact same opcode. This is the opcode in memory, and it's going through that opcode. All of us are. So I need to separate myself out from my enemies so I can have infinite health, but yet my enemies are still losing health. If I didn't do that, if I didn't separate myself out from them, we'd all be getting infinite health, and that just that ain't gonna work for anybody. So what I found was an offset, and where the enemies had one particular value that they all share, and I have a different value altogether at that offset. And basically I use a conditional jump that makes the enemies, because it looks like they are equal to 0, and they're jumping down here to where their health is being subtracted as normal. Where I'm not equal to 0, I just keep going down the list, and I have what my health cap writing to XMM1, and XMM1 is writing my health cap always to my health address. And I use my health cap that way. If I go up levels or go up health later on in the game where your bar increases and everything, well, your health cap will continue to increase with it, and it will always keep the bar at full health. So it's always best to do it that way if possible. But what we want to do is we would like to get one-hit kills. So what I would like to do is modify another XMM registry that may be carrying a 0 at this point in time. And the way to do that is I just need to go to this opcode in memory and place a breakpoint on it. So let's see if we can find that. Looks like I was already searching for it earlier, but I'm just going to redo that. I'm going to do a new scan. And make sure that you click writable. It'll be checkmarked by default. Just make sure you click it once. That turns it off. And then click it again, and it has that little box in it. It makes it readable and writable. You really want to do that. Oh, well, let me reattach the game. Sorry about that. There we go. Alright, we should be good to go now. So let's go ahead and do that scan. It's going to scan for those array of bytes, and this is the address of the opcode itself. These are the array of bytes of that opcode. And we disassemble this memory region, and it'll take us directly to that opcode in memory. This is what's writing to the health. Let me check off of it. XMM1 is writing to the offset of 540 at the base address of ESI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toggle a breakpoint. So I'm going to go ahead and toggle the breakpoint. There we go. And what it'll do is, one of us takes damage, it's going to stop the game right there before it writes that health. So let's go ahead and get back to the game. Let me just bring up my gun right quick, because I prefer to hit my enemy instead of me getting hit, just so I know that that's all the registries are set for them. There we go. Good. Now I just shot her with a bullet, and it broke right when it started to take her health away. So let's go check the XMM registries right quick, and we can see what's going on. We can see what her health value was. I believe she's at 150. I'm not sure. I believe that's her health value, and it's about to go down to 110. XMM1 is about to write 110 to her health address, my enemy's health address. So she's about to lose some health. But we see up here where XMMO has 0, we see XMM4 has 0, 5, 6, 7. So we see that, you know, we got several we can choose from. So I'm just going to pick a random one. I'm just going to choose XMM0, and I'm going to have that writing to our enemies for our one-hit kill script. So let's go ahead and untoggle the breakpoint. We can go over here to debug, or you can mash hotkey F5. Just click on it, and it takes the breakpoint back off of it, and then we can run our game again because it's frozen right. It's still frozen at that opcode right now. So let's run it so it'll continue on. And there we go. We can go ahead and pause that so we can just get directly to our script. Alright. So we know right now if I leave everything as is, excuse me, I'm sorry, and just toggle that on, I'm going to have infinite health, and they're just going to go down health like normal. And that's where we stand right now. But I want to be able to have one-hit kills and to be able to toggle those one-hit kills on and off. And that's what we're getting into now. So that's why I wanted to rename the code enemies normal, because we're going to be creating another function that's writing that 0. And that'll be the one-hit kill. So I wanted you to see the difference between the two. So we're going to create a new label. And we'll just name this insta-kill. How's that? If I can type. There. Insta-kill. Like I say, you can name these things whatever you want. Like it's just a place in memory for that particular function. They are case sensitive, so make sure that you're keeping them the exact same. So we'll just copy and paste that, and we'll just put that down here below enemy's normal health. So when we create our flag and we have it like a 0, it's going to be going to enemy's normal. When we have a 1 set in that flag, it's going to be going directly to insta-kill, and I'll show you how we do that. But for right now, let's go ahead and copy the opcode, and all we have to do is just change that XMM1 registry that's about to write the 110. We changed that to the XMM0 registry. That was carrying a 0. It has a 0 in there right now. So this automatically, once we turn that flag on, it's going to put 0 in there. Just one hit, enemy's dead, we can move on. But we don't want that on all the time. We want the ability to turn it on and off. Well, that's where flags come in. And this is where it gets really important. We need to create our flag itself. So what I want to do is I want to create a new label, and we're going to name this whatever we want our flag to be. Well, I'm just going to name it exactly what it is. It's a one-hit kill flag. Oh, one hit kill, Chris. underscore kill. And there we go. And we also want to be able to use this flag outside of the script. We want to be able to put the address for that flag down here so we can change it from 1 to 0 as we see fit. So we need to register a symbol. And this is so we can use that name outside of the script. That's all that really means. So we'll just register symbol, and then we want to come down here and we want to unregister it when we turn off our script. So we'll just paste that in there and stick an un in front of it. And that's it. One hit kill, one hit kill. Very good. But what we also want to do is we need to define the value for that one hit kill right now. We need to go ahead and create that location where our flag is. And I'm just going to put it down here just below new mem, just in its own little spot. And I'm just going to put the label right here. This is the name that I want it to be. I've already registered the label, I registered the symbol, and all we're going to do is we're just going to define the starting off value, which is 0. And I'm just going to use 0 and 1. I can use any numbers I want, okay? But I'm just going to use 0 and 1. So we're going to declare a D word, and we're just going to make that 0. Okay? 4 bytes address. We're declaring a D word. That's a 0. We're good to go right now on that. But it's still not going to do anything. Okay, it recognizes it as a 0, but that's it. What do we want it to do with that 0? What does that mean to the computer? It don't mean anything yet because we hadn't told it what to do. So that's where we got to come down here, and here's why I don't want to lose anybody. So I'm going to briefly describe this just so everybody understands what's going on. Okay, that's why I wanted to go ahead and run through the code before we got started on what's actually going on. Where, as you see, my guy is never going to be jumping down here at all, because my guy will always be different than 0 at this offset. So my guy is just going to go write the cap, it's going to hit that return, and the computer's going to go back where it left off in regular memory view, in the regular memory, and just continue on with the program. The enemies will never hit down here because they always equal 0 at that offset, so they're always going to be jumping to enemies normal. Every single time. Every time they get hit, they're going to be jumping enemies normal. I never will. My hero never will jump to these codes here. So it's only enemies that'll be coming here every single time. So this is where we want to set our comparison for a flag, and that's how we do a flag. We use another comparison. That's what we're going to do. Alright? Real simple. Just another compare. We've already discussed how we use compares. So everybody should be up to speed with that. We want to compare that flag that we've already named and registered that we're going to be using outside of the script. We want it, and it's recognizing that 0 right now. It's recognizing this name as a 0. And what we want to do is when that value equals 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, when it equals a 1, it starts out as 0, but when that equals a 1, we want it to jump if equal to guess where? Insta-kill. So in other words, when we turn that value from a 0 to a 1, it's going to jump down here instead and never run health as normal. If it is a 0, it's never going to jump to insta-kill. It's just going to come down here, subtract health like normal, and jump and return back to the regular program. And when we do turn it on to 1, it's going to jump to insta-kill because it will be equal to 1, and it's going to write that 0 in the enemy's health value when they're hit. One hit kill. Simple as that. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and copy this name because, like I said, we need to use it outside of the script. Click OK. And what we're going to do is, like we normally do, add address manually, and we're just going to put in that name just like that. Let's go ahead and turn our health on, and you see, as soon as we turned on our health, it read that value, it located its address, it created a jump. Let me show you the jump. Here's where our health code was. Let me turn it back off so you can see this. You see, that's our regular health. And then it created a jump when we turned our script on, and we're just going to follow that in memory. And here's our script that we just wrote. And it's going to follow these instructions. And just like we said. And we can go test it, and then we can go put a hotkey on it. So what I want to do is I want to change that back. Well, hell, let's just go ahead and put the hotkey on it now. What you say? I'm going to go ahead and put this like a child script underneath the main script, since it is dependent on that script. And what I'm going to put here is 1 hit kill. And we want to let anybody that, if we make a trainer out of this later, we want to let anybody know what the keys are and what it does. And we're going to have to put 2 different hotkeys on it. No, we're going to kind of make it the same, and I'll show you. But for right now, we're just going to say on equals the numeric 1. We'll just say numeric 1, which is the number pad keys. And then we'll just skip down a little bit, and we'll say off equals, and I'll just put alt plus 1. That means they got to hold down alt and that same 1 key, and it'll turn it back off. I'll place it back to 0. And that's just to let anybody who happens to play our trainer or use our trainer know how to turn 1-hit kills on and off. And we'll just go ahead and leave that name there. And now let's go set those hotkeys. We'll just go ahead and get that out of the way. It's real easy. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to explain that. You right click on the code, and right here is the pop-up set hotkeys, or you can mash Control H and it'll bring up, Cheat Engine has this great little function, the set hotkey screen, and all you have to do is just create a hotkey, and it's just doing it for that one little code, and we just put in what we want. Okay, so we're going to put in the numeric 1, which is the number pad, and what do we want it to do? All I really need it to do is set that value to 1, and it'll always stay 1 until we change it manually or with a hotkey. So we'll click apply to it. We'll create a new hotkey on the same address, and we'll put in the alt plus 1. That's it. Just mash alt then 1, and now when they mash alt 1, what do we want it to do? We want it to set that value back to 0. So now we got hotkeys set for it. So let's go test it. Let's set it 1 right now. So let me hold down alt and mash 1. Let me get the pointer off of it. And it changes it to 0. And if I just mash 1 regular, it changes it back to 1. So now we got a way to turn on our 1-hit kills as we see fit. So for right now, I'm leaving it off. And I'm just going to let them whack on me a little bit. And I'm going to hit them a couple of times. So let me change back to this. And you see my health filled back up. I'm going to hit her 1 time. And you saw she just lost a little bit of health. But now, let's turn on our 1-hit kill. I'm just going to hit my hotkey. Let's see if it works. So we toggled that to 1. Let's see if the script will run now. Boom! Look at that. 1 hit. Look at that. Let's turn it back off now. Let's just make sure. And alt 1. Back to 0. Alright, he just lost a little bit of health. She just lost a little bit of health. Now I want to kill him with 1 shot. Look at that. And you see, we got 1-hit kills as we see fit. We never lose our infinite health. Let's get to another location that's got a lot of enemies that we can really test it out on. Let me get this door shut, and I think we get a barrage of enemies coming at us. Now, I'm going to leave 1-hit kills on for the first couple, then we'll turn it off and test it. Look at that, one hit kills. Just 3 whacks, 3 deaths. Now let's turn it back off. I think there's a couple more come out, if I ain't mistaken. There they are. Now remember, I got it turned off now. Let's see. And look, they're not dying. See? They're just taking off health like normal. Now let's turn it back on. Boom. One hit kills. And that's all there is to it, fellas. I mean, that's it. And there's so many functions that you can do with these flags. You can do all kind of things with them. They're not just set to this right here. But, you know, it has come up in the past, you know, well, what if I don't want one hit kills? I just want infinite health and everything. Like, do I really have to write 2 different scripts? Well, no, you don't. Yeah, you can actually use a flag in the script and turn off just one specific function if you want it or not, and that way you can keep your infinite health on the entire time and turn one hit kills on as you see fit. That way you can write the script for the one hit kills and you don't have to use it if you never want to. Alright? And that's basically all there is to it. And I want to give credit to where credit is due, and I'm going to bring this up quickly, if I may. I know this is my channel, but I want to throw this out to J. Joe Matt. Now, he has not uploaded anything in months, and it's really a good series here, the Cheat Engine tutorial. And he just does a basic thing, but he really goes into advanced scripting and everything. Sneaky Mofo sent me to this guy's channel to take a look at these, but it was back when I was just first learning this stuff, and I might as well have been watching somebody speaking ancient Chinese in reverse, because I didn't have a clue what was going on. But now I totally understand it, and it kind of helped me formulate this particular lesson here. So I really suggest you go watch it. The links are in the description. And also come join us over here at the Cheat the Game Facebook channel. Have a bunch of great game hackers, game players, game modders that hang out here. Sneaky Mofo hangs out here. A ton of great game hackers, way better than me, hang out here. And if you have questions, they're really good at helping you. We don't do the work for you, but we kind of guide you if you get stuck. And they're really good. They can really teach you a lot here. Come join us. It's growing every single day. We got a lot of new members we're so happy to have. We're like a real close-knit family. I also want to throw some mentions out there. Some of the members here at the CTG channel here. My great pal Warlock, he's a Russian guy, does some awesome gameplays, funny as all get out. You got to go check out his channel. I'll put that link for you down there in the description. Also other members as well. And I would like to acknowledge my friend Charlie. He goes by the Noob. Does a lot of gameplays and walkthroughs. He normally does GTA 5 and things like that. John Cook, great game hacker. He's a coder. He's an expert at getting around some of these anti-hacks, and he's into other things too. You can check his channel out. Monarch Cherokee, he's a game hacker also, with some things on his YouTube channel. Carmen Haynes, he's got so many different things on his. He mostly talks computers, gaming, game hacking. He's a very entertaining guy. Please go check him out as well. And a lot of these guys I've already introduced you to, except for John. He is a game hacker. He's still learning. He puts trainers up, and if you speak Spanish and would like some further instruction, he has some information available. All these guys are available here at the Cheat the Game Facebook page. Links are down there in the description. You have all kind of areas of learning. Please go check them out. Also, come check my friends out over at guidedhacking.com. That's guidedhacking.com. They go into C++, C#, IDA Pro, even on into advanced and reverse engineering. I want to make a correction from my last vid. I stated here that my pal Rake was the creator of the site. That was my mistake. Actually, Fleep created the site, sold it to Rake, and Rake has taken it off into a great new direction. He does a great job over there at that site. So my apologies to Fleep in the last video. I wanted to make that up to him. Alright guys, that's all I have time for. I'm out of here. You all take care. Keep on hacking. Most importantly, please enjoy yourself. That's really what it's all about. You cheat the game, fellas, because believe me, it doesn't mind cheating you. You take care now.